Here we have the current stock market analysis for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, the share price itself is starting to show a little bit of bounce here. What we're looking at currently is the 30-minute price chart. So each candle on this price chart represents a 30-minute trading period. And if we drill in very closely here, we can see that share prices have actually managed to bounce out of this support zone that has recently developed at $19.43. So in this video, we're going to be looking at some of these specific price levels and determine which support and resistance zones are likely to be most influential for this stock, so that hopefully shareholders can develop some profitable trading strategies for this stock going forward. So as we can see here, this recent bounce did occur at sort of an interesting place here. The two price levels that we have been watching to the downside currently come at $19.31 and then $19.43. Ultimately, we really didn't breach this 1943 low. And then, of course, this 1943 low did not breach the 1931 low. So you are starting to see a modest increase here in the lows that have posted for this stock. But really what I would consider this to be at this point would be, a double bottom support zone or possibly even a triple bottom support zone. So let's just point some arrows here to figure out why exactly I'm saying this. I mean, if you look closely into the price chart here, you can see that there is some spike activity below this trend line here, below this support line here, but we really didn't see much closing price behavior below that level. So I would really sort of stay with this roughly 1940 zone as the main line of support here. And as we can see, this area was tested first. This would have occurred. This would be the September 11 trading session. And then again during the September 18 trading session, and then sort of finally later in that same trading session. So roughly on three different occasions here, two of these tests were on the same day, but we did see a bit of a bounce here currently. And this is an important bounce because, there are really two reasons for this. First would be the fact that we're currently trading at 21.24. So anybody that's been watching my prior videos on this knows that I have been calling a lot of attention to this $21 resistance area here. I really should have written the price level here, but this is a trend line here, a resistance line that has been drawn in these charts for quite some time. I have been watching this resistance zone here for a while, and the reason that I've been pointing to this area is because this is essentially the bottom of the price gap that was formed after the company released its most recent earnings report. So we did see that earnings report. There was major evidence of continued share price dilution for the company, and the share price itself gapped much lower. The top of that price gap currently comes in right around $21 per share. And as you can see here, the share price itself is now grinding through that area. In addition to that, you've also seen share prices move above this declining blue line here, which is the 200-period exponential moving average. So you've got sort of two different signals there acting at once. You've got this historical resistance break, and you've got this exponential moving average break that's coming in right in contact with the bottom of a major price gap. So now the real question here going forward is this: how valid now is this price gap? The real question here is, how much time has passed, since this price gap was initially formed, and how many of those prior orders still exist in that area? In my view, we have seen some time here. Some time here has passed here. We're well over a week at this point. So it's quite possible that many of these orders that were parked in this area have either expired or were closed manually by people that probably thought that they could get, the stock at a different price. So, that's the real question at this point. The reason that price gaps fill is because the presumption is that there's a large number of buy and sell orders that would continue to be placed in this area. But the longer time goes by, the more time that passes, those price gaps become less and less valid. So ideally, the scenario would have been for you to see, if you're bullish on the stock, would have been for you to see share prices move into this price gap more quickly. We saw that we saw the market attempt to force share prices above $21 a few different times here. I'm pointing to two different instances right here, roughly the September 13 trading session. But then we did see a price failure. So, more time has passed is really the point that I'm making here. And the main question at this point is whether or not most of those orders that were parked there are still active and are if they're still going to be executed if share prices move back into that area. If that's not the case, this stock is not going to benefit from this price gap. That would be the negative scenario. The positive scenario would be that, maybe this is a large enough stock. Maybe it's a stock that gets enough attention in the market. There are so many buy orders that are parked in that area that it will be enough to allow share prices to fill this price gap. But at this point, I think that this is highly questionable. I mean, we really don't know the outcome at this point. I think you could be much more certain of the outcome if this were to happen sooner. But enough time has passed at this point, more than a week, and a lot of orders have weekly timeframes on them. So, some of those orders, like we can't expect all of those orders in this area to still be open. Some of these orders have to be closed at this point. But the question is, are there enough remaining orders in this price gap to fill this area and then send prices back to roughly 23.30? If that is the case, then that is a fair amount of free momentum that the stock would get. And this would then allow share prices to to post some near-term highs. In addition to that, we would be well above the exponential moving average cluster at that point, and then possibly we could see a further extension in this indicator reading, which is currently showing some positive momentum that is underlying share prices. So, if we look here at these most recent readings in the relative strength index, we can see that share prices did manage to bounce off of a prior level, prior downside level. And now we're currently dealing with a relative strength index reading that is now in overbought territory. So this is another major question as well. We're kind of making this video into the close here, so we don't exactly know how share prices are going to close this session. But I would be watching very closely to see whether or not we get a bit of a sell-off into the closing period today. Specifically, what I would be watching would be to see whether or not share prices close above this 200-period exponential moving average, which comes in right around 2110, and then also to see if share prices break back below that $21 mark. Because if that were the case, then we wouldn't actually get a weekly close or a daily close above that $21 level, and then that increases the possibility that what we're seeing currently is a false breakout to the top side. So these are the factors that need to be watched. Here's the current stock market update for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.